To better explain to you what I have been talking about so far in this session, I have to explain to you what I call the spiritual law of frequency in building wealth or in making money or in building prosperity. And this law comes to the conclusion that everything exists on a frequency. Everything exists on a frequency. Now, let me explain better. When you operate on a frequency in your thought pattern, when you operate on a frequency of lack and poverty, your life will be in lack and poverty. So if your thought frequency, if your heart frequency, if your perception frequency operates on lack and poverty, I can guarantee you that your life right now will be full of lack and poverty. Constantly saying things like, I can't afford this, because out of the heart, out of the mind, the mouth speaks. So out of your frequency, your mouth is speaking. So if you constantly say, I can't afford this, or if your mind is constantly dwelling on the bills that you have to pay, you are training your mind, you're training your heart, you're training your frequency to focus on lack and to focus on difficulty. And when you begin to do that, here's what you're doing to yourself. You are keeping yourself away from opportunities for growth. We had a session one time where I took a lot of time to teach you guys on the science of opportunity and how it changes your life. You see, the things I teach you guys in this community are not from the place of assumption. This is from the place of personal experience in my life as a coach, what I've seen happen in the lives of other people, from the place of research, reading hours and hours and weeks and months and even years of studies. These things are evidence-based strategies, tools, and insights for you, right? So the same way, if you operate on the frequency of abundance, if you operate on the frequency of wealth, your life will be full of abundance and wealth. Even if right now you don't have it physical, material in your hands right now, but if your frequency is that of wealth creation, is that of abundance, I can guarantee you, in less than no time, just give yourself time, you will build that wealth and that abundance. I always say that put me anywhere, put me in any country, in any city, village, semi-urban area, anywhere on earth, as far as there are humans and somebody can live in that place, give me time, I will become successful. In terms of impacting people, in terms of building opportunities, in terms of making money, whatever terms you rate success, I will become successful. And you need to come to this place of realization. And you may not have it right now. I'm not saying right now that I have a lot of money right now, but I am very certain that I'm gonna make it, and I'll keep making it big. That's why many a times I've done a couple of things in my life so far. I have started over 8 to 9 businesses so far, and I have made a couple of millions a few times over and over. And sometimes I just start projects and I do things to make money from it just to prove that the concepts work. You see that? So you need to understand what I'm telling you. So if you keep thinking, for example, being grateful, if you keep thinking, I am grateful for all I have now, and I am open to receiving more and learning more, this begin to attract opportunities into your life and resources. Or you begin to train your mind to spot opportunities. So, uh, um, as I said a few minutes ago, the science of spotting opportunities is critical for your destiny manifestation. You see, and the frequency that you operate with determines how you spot opportunities in terms of financial opportunities, career opportunities, and business opportunities. You see that? Another frequency is what you can call the frequency of fear. Fear is a frequency, and the frequency of fear limits your success. For example, being afraid to invest in yourself, being afraid to start a business, being afraid to try something you have never done before out of the fear of failure keeps you stuck in mediocrity. And that's a frequency of living. And when you live in that frequency, you will be stuck in life for a very, very long time. You get that point? So another frequency is that, the frequency where you lack courage. Why? Because the frequency of courage unlocks potential. The frequency of courage puts you in a place where you achieve things that others would never be able to achieve because they lack that courage. So, what am I saying? When you come to a point where your frequency pushes you to take bold steps in your career, in your business, take bold steps in pursuing your passion, I can guarantee you that despite the difficulties, despite the uncertainties, doors will open for you. Doors of growth, doors of success. Another example is the frequency of complaining. Oh, yes, complaining is a frequency. You complain, your level of frequency pushes you to complain, right? So, and one thing is that complaining too much lowers your frequency. For example, constantly complaining about your job, constantly complaining about your current circumstances creates a negative frequency, a negative vibration that hinders your progression in life. Show me somebody who constantly complains. I will show you somebody who is going backward. But show me somebody, despite the fact where they are right now, they are training themselves to spot opportunities and to have the right mindset, the right attitude, and take the right actions, no matter how small. Give that person time. They will build wealth, make impact, and make a lot of money. Just give them time. The frequency of limitation is a frequency. And the big thing about this frequency is that it blocks your creativity. And if you lose your creativity, tell me how you will build wealth. So, how does the frequency of limitation works? For example, telling yourself you are not good enough. When you have that thought, or you tell people, or you tell yourself you are not good enough, you are operating from the frequency of limitation. Or you tell yourself this is all I can achieve right now. This is all I will ever be. You are operating or speaking from the frequency of limitation, and this blocks your creativity. It stops you from, let me say it this way, it stops innovative ideas from flowing into your life. A mind that operates from the place of limitation never receive ideas, and it is ideas that make men. For example, this teaching I'm doing to you right now is an idea, is a conception, it's a framework, and I've used it and it is impacting people. It's going to impact you right now. And if my mind is not designed and orchestrated in a way that it can receive the flowing of ideas, one of the skills I teach about to leaders and executives and millionaires is fluency of ideas. If you will succeed in life, you need to master the skill of fluency of ideas. Someday I'll teach this in this community. Right? So be careful of the frequency of limitation. Same as you can operate from the frequency of possibility. Right? Yes. The frequency of possibility puts you in a place where you take action. Why? Because the frequency of possibility inspires actions. Anybody who operates from the frequency of possibility will always take actions that will lead to a life-changing experience. So no matter where you are in life, if you operate from the frequency of possibility, you will always take actions. For example, believing in yourself that you have what it takes to achieve any goal right now in your life. That is you thinking and speaking from the frequency of possibility. I may not have all the money right now. I may not be where I want to be right now, but there is one thing I know. I have what it takes to achieve this goal. God has given me what I need to achieve this goal. So when you begin to think that way, what happens? This frequency of possibility now inspires you to learn, to network, and to take decisive actions that would change the rest of your life. I'm sure you're being challenged and you're being changed, right? There's so much I'm sharing right now, but I just hope that we can receive this and let this create a new dimension of possibilities in our lives, right? That frequency, the last one I will talk, there are many I can talk about. The last one I'll talk about is the frequency of doubt. The frequency of doubt is so dangerous, especially in relationships. When you operate from the frequency where you doubt your spouse, you doubt your friends. I'm not saying that people will not do things that will not cause you to doubt, but especially in terms of important relationships, be careful of operating from the frequency of doubt. Let's say for married couples, right? Why? Because doubting will create mistrust and weaken that bond over time. Yes, it will bring you to that point because it's a level of energy that you're generating, and very soon it's going to transfer into that relationship. So you need to come to a place where you are operating from the frequency of faith, trust, and possibility when it comes to important relationships in your life. Therefore, what am I saying? Your thoughts, your emotions, your actions emit frequencies that attract matching experiences into your life. If you want to change the course of your present experiences, pay attention to your thoughts, to your emotions, and to your actions. Why? Because everything exists on a frequency. Frequency of thoughts, frequency of emotions, frequency of actions. So, your thoughts or absence of thoughts plays a critical part in your destiny. Follow my words very carefully. Your present thoughts or your absence of thoughts, you are lazy in your thinking, it plays a critical part in your destiny. Your current emotions or your lack thereof of emotions will do the same. Your present quality of actions or your lack of actions, the same outcome, right? So it's simple. It is either you're operating from a low frequency or from a high frequency, right? This action reminds me of, I think, the movie's Suits. Harvey, right? I think he said, life is here and I am here, right? So low frequency, high frequency, okay? And this affects a lot of your perception of the world because your perception of the world is what determines your reality. Let me give you an example. If you strongly perceive that you're poor because of your government, because of the rich people in the society, or because of the way your family is, your perception of the world will determine your reality. But if you perceive that the world is full of abundance and prosperity and wealth and opportunities, and if you begin to pay the price and do the right things, you will take your share of prosperity, that perception will change your reality. You see that now? So, this single factor I'm telling you right now has the potential to dramatically alter the course of your life journey. I don't care at what level you are right now. If you take out the things I'm sharing with you right now, implement them, I can guarantee you, you will alter the rest of your life. You see, and to run up with this point I've been talking with you guys about, you see, all of these things begin to affect your internal control. Jesus said, it is what comes out of a person that defines a person, not what you eat. Mind-blowing scripture, right? So this takes me to what I like to call levels of internal control. Anybody who understands two levels of internal control will be successful in life. I know that is too blunt, but I have seen it happen. If you are able to positively enhance these two levels of internal control, your life will change. Your perception of things and your response to things. Anybody, I have had the privilege to meet a lot of successful people, billionaires and millionaires, and people in high places in the society. They are very good at mastering these two levels of control. Their perception about themselves and about the world, and the way they respond to anything around them as far as what they do is concerned. These two levels of internal control are critical for you to master them, your perception and your response. So one of your great goals in life, in this journey, is to bring yourself to that place of empowered self-responsibility where you have the right perception and the right response. Okay, let me round up this thought and then we move to the next thing, right? Your perception drives your behavior. The way you behave right now, at this very moment, is determined by how you perceive yourself, how you perceive what you do, and how you perceive the society. So your perception drives your behavior. So the more you enhance your perception, the more you improve your perception, the more you expose your perception, the more you change in your behavior. And when you change in your behavior, the quality of your result in terms of prosperity and wealth and riches and impact will change. So you can start with changing your perception by owning your interpretation of things around you. How do you interpret things around you? How do you interpret your life, your family, your purpose, your vision, how you make money? How do you interpret impact? How do you interpret success? How do you interpret politics? How do you interpret the media? How do you interpret people around you? Start owning your interpretations and improving your interpretations. I am teaching you guys secrets of the top 1%. If you understand this, let me tell you something. The strength of people that you admire at the top is not what they have. That's why look at many of them. They will lose money year in, year out, and they'll make back the money. I always tell you something. My greatest strength in life is not the material things that I have. Take away everything that I have materially. Just give me time with my God, with my brain, I'll be back on top. As simple as that. All right. To round up, I read something and it said quantum mechanics demonstrate that everything is energy, including your thoughts and your emotions. So, why is this important? Because this will allow you to consider that your thoughts and your emotions can be powerful in determining the quality of your life experience, the quality of your career and business experience. And that's why, even in the Bible, God talks a lot about meditating and having a sound mind. I hope this challenge you and inspire you, and of course, put you in a place where you create something different in what you have been doing so far. So let's go to the next thing right now and